unmute that. And here we are back in another Final Cut Friday. For everybody that's tuning in, I had to go a little early today because I have something to do this afternoon. I'm just going to check the audio real quick. Audio sounds fine. Audio sounds fine. So we have some first comments. Westdock Online, that's our friend Chuck Braverman. Yes, that's Chuck. And our friend Garrett. Audio is perfect, Chuck says. Yeah, I spent some time on it. Very, very strange the way the audio is working. So this unit, the U audio device that I use, is not compatible with my MacBook Pro and Monterey. They say that some of the things will work. I have found that this unit works, and then after about 30 minutes, it goes offline so far. So what I've learned to do is I set the unit up with the plugins that I want. Because this is a hardware unit. You use software plugins, but they stay in the hardware. This actually runs the plugins itself, not the computer. So what I've found the workaround that I've found in order to use this is I set the plugins up, get this audio adjusted the way I like, and then I quit the apps and I unplug this from Thunderbolt. And since this is hardware, as long as I don't turn it off, it retains all the settings. And then what I do is I take analog out of this into another device, audio device over here. That's how I have this set up. So that's what I'm doing, and it works. I've tried it multiple times, and it's worked. It works really well. So the heck with that. I mean, listen, people are asking about Monterey and Final Cut Pro 10.6. Listen, we're in the Wild West out here, okay? I've got my new MacBook Pro, which I absolutely love this thing. This thing is really, really a good machine. Now, Final Cut's not working on it perfectly. Some other audio things that I have are not working on it perfectly, but I can tell this is the future. And Final Cut will be working on this when they give us 10.6.1 anytime, maybe today, maybe next week. One of the things, I've seen a lot of bug reports on 10.6. Combination 10.6 Monterey seems to be the worst combination. So you have three things. Final Cut Pro 10.6 came out. Monterey came out, brand new operating system. And the new MacBook Pros came out, the M1 Max in my case. There's bound to be issues. There's a lot of interconnecting parts here that aren't quite working. So I do expect 10.6.1 to be coming out at any point. In June of last year, they put out 10.5.3. 3 weeks later, they put out 10.5.4. That is the fastest they have ever put out an update. 3 weeks for Final Cut Pro update is incredibly fast. By the way, here's the backyard. Beautiful. I did the leaves earlier this week, so there's not many leaves down. But the weather is like 52 degrees today. It's doing beautiful. So Chuck says, I am cutting on Final Cut Pro now on location on a new MacBook Pro now with Monterey. Super speedy so far, no issues, love it. My experiences as well, Chuck, have been nothing but positive with the new MacBook Pro. I got the M1X, and it's been nothing but positive experiences. I haven't pushed Final Cut Pro very heavy. I have used Logic, but I took all my plugins out because I know they're not working properly, at least not yet. So I took all the plugins out, and Logic was silky smooth. Logic 10.7, by the way, not even 10.6, the way Final Cut is. And it's been running fantastic. I can see the future. This thing is just, I mean, the fans don't kick on at all. Right now I'm running a bunch of cameras and a bunch of other apps and stuff. And the fans, I have not heard the fans kick on at all yet. So one of the things we're going to be doing today, what are we doing today? Final Cut Friday. I'm here a little bit earlier than usual. You know, I switch it up a little bit. Today I started 11. Sometime I started 2. Sometime I started 3. It's just the way that my schedule works out. I have to go somewhere this afternoon, so I decided to come on at 11 before I get out of here. What are we going to talk about today? That's what I want to know. We are going to talk about get ready for the Final Cut event of the year. I have to agree with that. Even with being virtual, this is the Final Cut event of the year. This is the one. This is the only event, okay, that's dedicated to Final Cut Pro. NAB, IBC, yada, 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 Consumer Electronics, CES. This is the only event that's dedicated to Final Cut Pro, the entire event. Now, one of the things that I'm curious about, we know 10.6.1 is coming because there's so many bugs with 10.6. Now, are they the operating system bugs? Probably. I've heard reports of USB docks and things not working with Monterey, whether it's Intel, whether it's M1. So that could be. It could be Monterey. Is it Final Cut Pro? Absolutely can be Final Cut Pro. From what I understand, they've rewritten Final Cut Pro, at least large parts of it, to be, what do they rewrite it in? Swift. They're rewriting it in Swift, which is the Apple programming language that they promote. So do you think that might cause problems? Absolutely. Absolutely can cause problems. Let's see how fast they get us 10.6.1. I expect 10.6.1 to come up pretty quickly. Now, here's the question I have. Okay? We have, let me just answer that real quick. My OWC Thunderbolt dock works fine. I have a Thunderbolt 4 dock, Gert, and it works fine except, let me just show you what doesn't work. And that's a big deal. Where did I put that? Somewhere around here. Well, I'll show you over here. This guy does not work in the Thunderbolt, the OWC Thunderbolt 4 dock. It freezes up. As you can see, I have it plugged directly into a Thunderbolt port. This is the Camlink, Elgato Camlink 4K. It does not work in the Thunderbolt in the OWC dock. I've tried it in both USB 3.2 and the Thunderbolt ports. It does not work in either one. It freezes up. I have a support ticket in because if they can't get it working, I'm going to probably return that and wait till I get one that does work. Now, could it be Monterey? Absolutely. It could be Monterey because I've heard reports that Monterey has problems with some USB docks. However, I don't want to be stuck with a dock if there's something hardware going on. The weird thing is, I can use a cheap one of these, a $20 one from Amazon plugged into the dock. It works fine. It's just this specific Elgato 4K that doesn't work. That's the only thing. It doesn't work. And you use the right cables? Well, let me see. I've been streaming for about 3 years, and I've used that Camlink 4K for 3 years because I've had it for a long time. Yes, I'm using the right cables. Of course I'm using the right cables. So that's not the issue. The issue is absolutely the OWC dock. It's a combination. Monterey, the OWC Thunderbolt 4 dock, and the Camlink, and the MacBook. Four things. You know why? Because it works on my 2019 MacBook Pro. The Elgato 4K Camlink works with the OWC dock on my 2019 Intel Mac Pro that's running Big Sur. It works. It only freezes on this new one that I have. So you have four things. Monterey, which the other MacBook is not on. The new MacBook Pro. The new Thunderbolt 4 dock. And the Elgato Camlink 4K. One of those combinations is causing it to freeze, and I can't use it in the dock, and I absolutely want to use it in the dock. I'm thinking it's Monterey. That's what I'm thinking. I have Monterey on my MacBook Pro, so I can try it over there. I mean, I have it on my Mac Pro. I'll see if it works on the Intel version, but I have a feeling it won't. I got a feeling it's Monterey. So let's get back to business. Getting ready for the Final Cut Pro event of the year. This is the Final Cut Pro event of the year. Now, people might say other ones are bigger. Let me see. So Tangier says, can you repeat which MacBook Pro you have? I have the M1 Max, 64 gigabytes of unified memory, 32 CPU cores, GPU cores, whatever it is. And I got the 4 terabyte SSD. I originally ordered the 2 terabyte, and then my friend Brad Olson came on and said he ordered the 4 terabyte. I said, curse you, Brad. Now I have to get the 4 terabyte. He made me think about it. So I went and got the 4 terabyte. I ordered it online with 2 terabyte, 3 or 4 weeks out. The morning they went on sale in the Apple stores, I just happened to check. I got up and I just checked my local Apple store. They had the model that I want, exactly what I want. Space gray, 4 terabyte, 6432, M1 Max. They had it in stock. I could not believe it. They had that model in stock at a local store, so I immediately bought it. And then I didn't cancel my online order because it wasn't 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out. I didn't cancel it until I had this MacBook Pro in my hand. So that's what I did. So everything is going very swimmingly well with this bad boy. I really, really like everything about it. I haven't even used the HDMI port yet. This is Thunderbolt 4. These are Thunderbolt 4, by the way, not Thunderbolt 3 like the previous generation. So I'm really looking forward to it. So we are going to talk about the Creative Summit today. And let me just pull this up. Rates and registration. So we're going to give away not 1, but 2 Summit VIP passes on the show today. 2, because it starts on Monday, right? It starts on Monday, so we have to do that. Give it away today. So what does the VIP pass give you? It gives you 90 days access to the Final Cut Pro 2021 Summit Session recordings. That's a $3.99 value. Why is that important? That's important if you're sleeping, if you're overseas and you can't watch the event live, except you will not get a recording of the Apple session. The Apple sessions are not recorded. Let me see if I'm going to fix something here. Let me just check on this. Let me just, wait a second. Let me turn that off. I want to see if I can fix this because this is not working for me. It bugs me. Let me see if this works. It did not. Okay. I was just trying to correct something, but didn't work. So, back to this. 90-day access to all Final Cut Pro Summit 2021 sessions. So if you're sleeping overseas, if you're in Australia, and the time zone just doesn't work, if you have to work, you really can't say, boss, I got to take off work to watch the Final Cut Pro Summit. I mean, a lot of people, I probably could when I was working because I was a supervisor, but most people can't do that. So you can watch it up to 90 days afterwards, all the sessions. You also get access to top-rated sessions from previous summits, one free electronic copy of Final Cut Pro Efficient Editing, a $56 value by itself from our friend Ian Anderson, 50% discount on one Final Cut FMC training of your choice, automatic entry to the VIP raffle grand prize to be announced. That's what it gives you, the VIP pass. So it's $149, normally $199. We're going to give away 2 of those passes today. Courtesy of future media conferences. Good morning, all. Hello from Toronto. Just in time, Geert says. Just in time. Here's the backyard. I have a nice backyard, don't I? I have 1.5 acres. Bird feeder. This is our back window. I have a big picture window out back. And opposite of this is my wood-burning stove that I sit there and watch, typically in the wintertime. And then we watch the snow out there in the backyard. Please have a beverage. My beverage of choice is coffee, of course. I drink 2 or 3 cups a day of quality coffee. Hello from London. And hello from the Republic of Canada. How to get one, Richard? How to get one what? How to get one of the VIP passes? You can buy one. Looks beautiful in those snow shots you did in the winter. Thank you very much. The snow shots were, I go out walking in the snow and I stream live a lot of times. So we got some other things to talk about. So what's going on with Final Cut Pro itself? Right? We have, yes, please. Well, you can buy one if you want to wait around and see who wins today. I'll decide as somewhere along the lines of this live stream, I'll decide who wins. So we'll go from there. So here's the other thing. If you're just going to regular session, you get access, you get free. Now, it's not really free. Somebody's paying for it. OWC is a sponsor, and Apple, in cooperation with Apple, let's just say both of them are probably paying for most of this to be free. That's what I would think. And you get access to everything. Now, here's the main thing. You have to watch the Apple sessions live. Don't come back and say, oh, where's the Apple recording? It's not being recorded. They never are. The Apple never allows their stuff to be recorded unless they're in charge. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I'm wondering. We know 10.6.1 is coming out. It has to be because there's so many bugs. So is that Final Cut Pro issue or Monterey issue or the new M1 Max issue, whatever it is, it's got to be fixed. I've heard reports that you can't even do an undo in 10.6. Well, some people have had that issue. I'm curious if they are going to release 10.6.1 with bug fixes during the Summit week, which is very possible. Why not? And they might give us another feature or two, or a couple new features, especially if they're rewriting Final Cut Pro in Swift. If that's the case, they're going to be adding features as the rewrite becomes more mature. Garrett says that update could come out later today. It could, however, I don't recall that many Final Cut Pro updates coming out on Friday. That doesn't mean anything. It just means that normally it's not a Friday. Thursday was the last one. Tuesday is a popular day. On a Friday, it certainly can be, but I would be surprised if it came out today. What I'm thinking is it might come out, if they're just doing bug fixes with 10.6.1, it doesn't have any relationship to the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. Because what are they going to do? Oh, new update to Final Cut Pro. Look at all these bugs we fixed. That's not what they're going to do. They're not going to do that. If 10.6.1 comes out, fixes bugs, and they add one or two new features or a couple new features, then it's a perfect opportunity for the Final Cut Pro team to demo these new features at the Creative Summit. Now, the Apple Day is it Friday, Thursday, or I think it's next Friday, a week from today is the Apple Day. So be on the lookout. If 10.6.1 comes out during the Summit, it could happen next Friday during Apple Day or Thursday. It could happen at any time. If they add features in 10.6.1, they're going to fix bugs, but if they add features, perfect opportunity for the Final Cut Pro team to talk about the new features during the Final Cut Pro Creative Summit. What's the new announcement at the summit? Why, what are you referring to, new announcement? Eric, what new announcement? Who said anything about a new announcement? I think he's talking about this. I think he's talking about this. This is what it says. Live from Apple Park, and it says, meet with Final Cut Pro team for a whole day of exclusive sessions and discussions. And then it says, you won't want to miss their upcoming announcements. I think that's what Eric is talking about. You won't want to miss their upcoming announcements. Right? Is that what you're talking about, Eric? You won't want to miss their upcoming announcements. No idea. No idea what that is. But, let me just pull this up there. Add. You won't want to miss their upcoming announcements. So, upcoming announcements? What is that going to be? What do you think? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Has anyone else noticed that 10.6 update has slowed down certain aspects of Final Cut Pro? I've heard that a lot. I've used it a little bit. I haven't seen any no, you know what? I have seen some slowdown issues. I have to disagree with myself there. I have seen some slowdown issues. I've seen the spinning beach ball. I shouldn't be seeing the spinning beach ball with this new MacBook Pro. No, I've seen it. It says, I'm thinking it only happens to older machines. I have noticed. Wasn't there an update on Friday 2 years ago, just before the summit? No, the summit, the live summit, the first day is Friday. So let me see. 2016, the update came out before the summit. 2017, the update came out at the summit. At Apple Day at the summit. Probably was a Friday. It probably was a Friday. But one of my point is it wouldn't be this Friday. If they're going to do that, it would be next Friday at Apple Day. That's what I'm thinking. If they're going to repeat that, it'll be next Friday. 10.6.1 will come out next Friday or whatever. Listen, they also could just show us upcoming features, right? They sure could. They sure could. They could just show us upcoming features for Final Cut. They've done that before. But you're right. Friday 2 years, just before, not before the summit, actually at the summit. It was at the summit. I'm hoping 10.6.1 is fixing these slowdowns. Well, like I said, I think they're more than just Final Cut Pro. So 10.6.1 with the new update to Monterey, if you're on Monterey, I don't know if you're seeing these issues in Big Sur and Catalina. Do you have waveform redrawing issues, Scott? Scott says they have a lot of waveform redraw issues. That's a big one. That's a big one. Any rumors about B-RAW? No, there never has been any rumors about B-RAW. I'm the only one that's talked about that. Other people have wished it, but I keep saying, where's B-RAW support? So, interesting, the GH5 Mark II, the Panasonic GH5 Mark II, I have the GH5, the original. The Mark II just came out with B-RAW support, external recording of B-RAW support. So that's pretty interesting. Panasonic is now supporting external B-RAW recording. A 10.7 demo would be huge. I didn't say 10.7, Garrett. That's another bug I've had as well. So I would be shocked. At 10.7, I would be really shocked, although they did it with Logic last year. I would be very shocked. That's another bug I've had as well. Just updating and reloading libraries. Yeah. Maybe they'll keep tweaking the new blade tool. That is funny. Very, very funny. Yeah, they did 3. What did they do? They did 3. I'm going to do something here real quick. 3 revisions of the blade tool in 2 weeks, 3 weeks back in June. Some of the bug reports I'm reading on Facebook groups sound nasty. Yes. I heard they replace it by a chainsaw. So I think, I'm just saying, look, 10.6.1's due. The Creative Summit's out next week. Could they be combining the two? Could they be doing a update during the Final Cut Pro Summit? So here's the deal. 2016, the day before the summit, they had the MacBook Pro event, the 2016 Touch Bar MacBook Pro event. The day before, exactly like they did this year, at the MacBook Pro event, they introduced a brand new full point update of Final Cut Pro. 2016, it was 10.3. They introduced it the day before the summit at the Apple event. The next year, 2017, they previewed Final Cut Pro 10.4 at the summit. Previewed 10.4 at the summit. It wasn't out until December, but they previewed it at the summit. That was 2017. 2018, the following year, a worldwide debut of Final Cut Pro 10.4.4 at the Creative Summit. 3 years in a row they did that. 2016, 2017, 2018, they introduced brand new versions of Final Cut Pro at the summit or right like a day before the summit. 2019, nothing. They introduced nothing. 2020, last year virtually, nothing. There was no update to Final Cut Pro last year around the summit, zero. So could they do it again this year? Absolutely. Is there precedent? There absolutely is. That's what I mean about announcements. What do you mean about announcements? The last live in-person summit I attended was 2017, so I saw you there. I was there in 2017 as well. I would love to stay for more of this, but I got a training session to get to. Absolutely. Good luck, everyone. So Tangier Clark says, waveform redrawing is such a peculiar thing. Resolve has the same issue and it's had it for a while. So I guess if they are indeed rewriting Final Cut Pro with Swift or Swift 2, whatever the heck it is, that's probably where that redraw issue is coming from. It's insane how fast these new cameras come out. I was reading something about the new Apple Cloud platform. It said they would be talking about along with some surprises. Did they say surprises? They said announcements from what I've read. Did they actually say surprises? Let's go find out. Got to keep hydrated. So here's what it says. You won't want to miss their upcoming announcements. You won't want to miss their upcoming announcements. Okay, I don't want to miss those. I do not want to miss their upcoming announcements. You can only watch the Apple presentation. It says live from Apple Park. Hopefully it's more robust than it was last year. Last year it was, let me just, so last year they had, it seems like last year they had announcements from Apple Park, but you really couldn't tell. It wasn't very spectacular like you expect Apple Park to be. Everybody was separate. If I recall correctly, and I think I do, everybody was separate in their own office spaces. Now, things were worse last year, so I understand. But we've heard a little story. We've heard a little story, if you listen to the latest Final Cut Pro radio, that we might be seeing the Apple presentation from the Steve Jobs Theater. That would be much better more grandiose. It's certainly more conducive if you have an announcement to make. William says, what is the best way to learn Final Cut Pro for a newbie? First off, you can read the manual. The manual's very good. Then go to Amazon and get the Final Cut Pro book by our friend Ian Anderson. That's the only real Final Cut Pro book out there, if you like books. YouTube, tons and tons of stuff on YouTube for Final Cut Pro. Lots and lots of people are out there giving away free content. And of course, Ripple Training, they haven't updated. Ripple Training is one of the barometers I use to determine whether an update is big or not. Okay? They haven't updated their full course Final Cut training since Final Cut Pro 10.4. They did zip for 10.5 because it wasn't anything they're up to talk about. They've done a couple of small tutorials for 10.6, mostly on the tracking feature. I think the tracking feature has its own course. But there's no course like there was for 10.2, 10.3, and 10.4. There's no, beginning course, advanced course Ripple Training has. That's a good barometer of whether it's a big update or not. But you can certainly learn Final Cut Pro. They have the 10.5 course. I'm not even sure I presume it's still there. And then just YouTube, join some Final Cut Pro groups, watch this podcast. We talk about stuff all the time. I don't understand that. It seems like Apple and Final Cut Pro and Blackmagic get along. There was DaVinci Resolve on Apple event, but still no support for ProRes RAW in DaVinci and no Pro B-RAW in Final Cut Pro. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. I certainly expect that to be happening. For those two to be coming together. I can't imagine them not. Christopher says, when will we see machine learning? Let me just pull this out of the way. Metadata recognizes meaningful, helpful basis. Headshot. Yeah, I think it's already in there, right? Some machine learning's already there. The return of iChat Theater review with a new cloud service and share play features, perhaps. So I would expect Apple to do something like that, to incorporate something like that. I've often said they have to, if you're an Avid editor and they have something's locked and you have to get it unlocked, why don't they have something in the application, little pop-up window, communicate between editors who are working on the same project? Final Cut, if you could have some kind of collaboration going on, that would be fine. So Ripple Training, but Ripple Training hasn't done a course since 10.4. So that's 2 versions behind because there hasn't been much. 10.5, they didn't do anything. 10.6, they have one special thing about the tracking feature, which is pretty darn big. Mark Spencer did a really good job of that. But they don't have the whole course. They don't have the whole course like they did for 10.3, 10.4. They've got Ripple Training courses, but they don't have Final Cut Pro courses. So I don't think you should go back to 10.4 and learn. That seems like it's too old, especially when things are changing all the time. So see if they have a special. They might have Black Friday is coming up, the Thanksgiving. Is coming up. They have Fridays, Black Friday sales all the time. All the vendors do. I know that the plug-in manufacturers do. Let's go back to here. So let's talk about the announcements they have. So Apple Day, you have to be there live. So sign up to attend Apple Day. If you just click on that, and it takes you to the sign up page. There you go. Sign up. That's where you go. Everything goes there. How to attend. Live sessions on November the 5th. Today's November the 5th. Access your live sessions on November the 5th. I think they mean you can check into the Zoom, make sure everything's working. Conference delivered live via Zoom's desktop sharing platform to facilitate interactive. To access the live session, you must download our Final Cut Pro Global Event platform, which is available on web browser and mobile. Oh, there you go. Details on how to sign up will be announced on November the 5th. That's today. So here you go. Click on that, and it'll take you there. It'll take you there on where to sign up. How to watch a session. Here's the instructions. Attend via web browser. That's how I will be watching. All the information is right there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bookmark that. Copy. I'm going to bookmark that. How to attend. Who should attend? I'm a beginner. I'm an aspiring content creator. I'm an aspiring filmmaker. I'm a Final Cut Pro. Let's just look at this one. Are you an aspiring filmmaker? This is the big deal. This is the big deal. All right, so I'm going to give away one of the VIP packages, and that is going to go to Midland Pictures. Midland Pictures. So Midland, and that became because, let me pull this up. Web page graphics. So that was because of this comment. Maybe they'll keep tweaking the new blade tool, talking about Final Cut Pro. That made me laugh. So Midland Pictures, you get one of the VIP passes. I have one more to give away, which I'll give away within the next, whatever. So I need you to contact me via YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, Richard Taylor TV. Send me your email address, and I will pass it on to the people. And I will pass it on to the people who are in charge of such things. Midland Pictures says, nice. So Midland Pictures, where are you from? Are you from overseas? Now, here's the other thing. If you've won from this show in the past, please don't take one of these passes away from somebody who hasn't won recently. Midland says he will do. So send me your email address. I got to send it in to them, and they will contact you with your free VIP pass. Now, people that are overseas, that's what it benefits. But even then, he's in Omaha, Nebraska. Very good. Omaha, Nebraska. Good old Nebraska. So even if you don't win one this time, it's just rates and registration. So the VIP pass is only $149. If it's worth it for you to see all of the sessions, you get access to, you get a free electronic copy of our friend Ian Anderson's book. That's worth $50 by itself, $56. And I think it's 10.5. He might update it to 10.6. I'm not sure. I think he will. All kinds of things. So it's only $149 even if you don't win. Midland says, and I'm Matthew, by the way. Okay, Matthew, great. Fantastic. Make sure you identify yourself as Midland Pictures when you contact me with your email. So on Facebook, message me, Richard Taylor TV. Twitter, Richard Taylor TV. YouTube, as you're watching, probably Richard Taylor TV. Message me on one of those. Private message me your email address, and I'll pass that along. One more VIP pass to give away. Sessions. Let's see how the rest of this goes. I have to leave here in a little while. there is the backyard. Here's my new MacBook Pro. M1 Max. M1 Max. This thing is very, very nice. I'm very pleased. I had a 2019, but a 15-inch, not even a 16-inch. So, been long overdue to get one. I'll be excited to take this out if we go to NAB next year. Let me just check on one thing. I'm just keep checking my audio because this thing's not working when I have it plugged in with Monterey or the MacBook Pro. So what I do is I set this thing up with plugins and stuff, the way I want it to sound. I have tube emulation plugins, and then I unplug it, shut the apps down and unplug it. This maintains, since this is a hardware device, this device runs the plugins. As long as I don't turn it off, it maintains all the settings without being plugged in to the MacBook Pro. Now, I'm not using the Thunderbolt connection to connect it to the computer. I have an analog out connection. This analog out is going into another audio interface. That is why it works, even though it's not plugged into my Mac, because right now it's not 100% supported. So, I just keep checking my audio to make sure everything's working okay. What day is the Apple Day? I think it's Friday, right? Let's just double check, but I'm pretty sure it's Friday. Oh, here we go. Friday. Who should attend? Program 2021. We'll go over that in a minute, but I think Apple Day, yes. Friday, November 12th, 2021. So it starts at 11:15 a.m. 11:15 a.m. And that's the Apple Day. So one of the things I want to talk about before everybody leaves, we're not leaving yet, we're still going to be on here for another half hour or so. So one of the things I want to talk about, so let's go over the actual break. The actual schedule. So here it is, Monday, November 8th, 2021, starting at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Kickoff orientation. So I'm going to do a live stream before that. I'm going to start maybe 9:30 Eastern and just go over some stuff, have a place for everybody to get together prior to the actual summit starting. I'll do a live stream and I'll quit by 11 o'clock. Gives you plenty of time to log into the summit itself. But I'll be there Monday morning anyway. We'll get together again. So here's the first thing. So notice the first day is only single sessions. And they take a break. Now look, I might jump in here too. At any point, notice this break is 5 hours. No, 4 hours. I'm sorry. There'll be a 4-hour break in here. I might jump in here too, especially if there's anything going on that we should be talking about. So the best thing to do is subscribe over there at YouTube and be notified when I go live. Notice the first day, single sessions. Starting on Tuesday, there's 2 sessions, one here, one there, one here, one there, one here, one there. You can't watch everything unless you get the VIP package. You can watch this one or this one or this one, but you can't watch them both, and certainly you can't watch them and comprehend them both. So once again, the VIP package, you can watch them up to 90 days afterwards. Then there's a break, and then there's back to afternoon news, check-in, Jeff Greenberg, summer stories in Chicago, Vince Vaughn, Steve Douglas. And then we're back to two sessions. So get the VIP package if you didn't win it. Get the VIP package. Oh, here's 3. Oh, that's hallway conversations. I'm not sure. There's 3 sessions here. Panel, hallway conversations. Here's 3. So here's starting on Thursday. Okay, 3 sessions. 3 sessions. You have to get the VIP package, don't you? You have to get the VIP package to get all the sessions there. See? This is what they do live as well. You have 3 sessions. So this is a heck of a lot. It's really worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Otherwise, you're going to miss two of the sessions, 2 of the 3. $149. $149. $149. It's well worth it. Get the VIP package. $149. 5 days, 6 days, you get everything for 90 days to rewatch it. It's a no-brainer. $149. I'm hoping for an iMac Pro next year. Yeah, when the 2013 Mac Pro came out, I think I had an iMac in those days, and I stuck with iMacs until 2019. So for 6 years, I stuck with iMacs. The 2013 Mac Pro didn't appeal to me. I didn't like it. It was a self-contained, glued together unit. You couldn't upgrade hardly anything. I just didn't like it. It didn't appeal to me. So I stuck with iMacs that whole time. But when the 2019 Mac Pro came out, I got one of those. I've been waiting for a long time. It's a beast of a machine. I still have it. What's the difference between 10.5 and 10.6? Let me tell you something. There's not much difference between 10.4 and 10.6. 10.5 was a tiny, tiny little update. It was hardly anything. It came out with the new M1 Max last year. 10.6 has 2 features. 10.4 had dozens and dozens of new features. So the last real big update was 10.4. So not much difference between 10.4 and 10.6. Little things. 2 features in 10.6. Now the one feature is big. It's motion tracking. You can track faces and stuff. That itself is a big, big useful feature. But it's not a lot of features. If Ripple Training doesn't do a course on a Final Cut Pro update, it's not a big update. They have not done one for 10.6 because it's very similar to 10.4. They did one course on the motion tracking feature Mark Spencer has. It looks pretty cool. So don't worry about 10.5. Between 10.5 and 10.6, there's a couple of things. You can watch the course, Ripple Training course on 10.4 if you want to catch up, and ask them if they update it, and you'll get a free update or a discount or whatever. Usually that's what they do. The last time was on Thursday, so that was about the update. So Chuck Braverman's back. Just back. Hi, Midland. Watch your videos all the time. Yes, a bummer because there are a few I'd love to watch, but that happens at the same time. $149. 6 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You get everything for 90 days. You can access it. $149. $149. It's the information alone is worth it. So you don't have to worry about it. You can sleep if you want to. You can work if you want to. So I keep recommending that. But Jeff always has cool sessions. Wife would kill me if I spent that money just for hobby. Why don't you work a few extra hours for overtime and get the money for it. See, for a lot of us, it's not a hobby, so that's completely understandable. So Daniel Suzuki says, hallway conversation, my favorite thing last year, met a lot of people. Absolutely. I'll be there this year. I was there last year for some of it. I'll be again this year. I'm hoping for a smaller Mac Pro, something slotted between the iMac and the full Mac Pro. So one thing that I got with this MacBook Pro that I got is I really like the new layout. Normally, I have a screen over to my left, to my right, I think that's my right, a separate screen. So I keep looking over to there. I look over to that way. I look over to my right. Now I look down because my MacBook Pro screen is below my big screen. I like this layout a lot better. So I didn't know that I would. I didn't know how this was going to fit, but it works very well. I can see my entire, my dock at the bottom of my LG. So I like this layout better. So I'm not going to miss going to a iMac Pro, whatever they got. Midland Pictures says, thanks for turning in, Weststock Online. Working on a new one right now about my new 14-inch MacBook Pro. Scott says, is the MacBook Pro now your primary machine? Yes, it is. If you are using a MacBook keyboard or an external keyboard. This is my Mac Pro keyboard. I need numbers. I use numbers all the time. I have shortcuts over here, and I need these numbers. I can't work on a keyboard that's only like that. Can't do it. I got to have all these numbers. So I have this one I stole from my Mac Pro. My Mac Pro now has a wired keyboard that I really like, full-size keyboard, and I'm also using this because I'm faster with the mouse than I am with the trackpad. Now, when I go on the road, of course I'll use the trackpad. If I'm on the subway, of course I'll use the trackpad. I certainly know how, but I like this better. I'd love to see the Cube brought back as the in-between the Mac Mini and the Mac Pro. There's still a need for in-between machines, absolutely, and I think you will see it. I think you'll see a Mac Mini Pro. You shouldn't take the Mac Pro and call it a Mini. That's downgrading a big machine and call it something smaller. You should take the smaller machine and call it something bigger. So the Mac Mini Pro, from a persuasion and marketing point, makes much more sense than a Mac Pro Mini. Because the Mac Pro is gigantic, and calling it a Mini is downgrading it. So the Mac Mini Pro is going up. The Mac Pro Mini is going down. I expect them to have a Pro Mac Mini. Absolutely. I tried to log into the Summit to test it, and it says to use the access code. You have to sign up first. Sign up first for the Summit. They will send you an access code once you sign up for free. Then you need the access code for that. How do you like your Apollo Twin? I love the U-Audio platform. It's expensive. Their plugins are just top-notch. Everything is done in their hardware. All the plugins are emulated here in real time. There's no delay. We're listening to the plugins right now inside this box. So I absolutely love it. Yes, Tangier, I would love to have an M1 Mac Pro with the similar size to the, absolutely. You're not finding that you're looking up to the Mac Pro? Well, it's better than looking this way. I prefer this. I can just take my eyes down rather than looking over this way. So I actually prefer it. I can just look down quickly and see something rather than turning my head to see the other monitor. So I really was never expecting this to be a benefit. What NAS do you work off of? Is Thunderbolt 3 or 10 gig Ethernet? I work off of a Promise RAID 5, RAID 5 and a G-Tech RAID 5. They're both Thunderbolt 2. So I have a Thunderbolt 2 to Thunderbolt 3 adapter plugged into my Mac Pro. They don't work with the MacBook Pro. It doesn't work. Haven't been able to get it to work. So these are older ones. I'm not that concerned. I can pull stuff off my Mac. My Mac Pro's right here. I can pull stuff off my Mac Pro, put it on an SSD drive, and then attach that to my MacBook Pro. But I'm looking for something going forward, a bigger RAID system, RAID 5, RAID 6, 8 drive. I want to get something 8 drive that's not too loud. And for the MacBook Pro. I'm not getting anything right now. Let the dust settle a little bit. I'll see what everybody else recommends. Perhaps a Mac Mini Max instead of a Mini Mac Pro for those who want to choose our own monitors. Absolutely. You need to update to the Magic Keyboard with Touch ID. I have it right there. Right? That's what you're talking about. And yes, indeed, I agree with you. Does Apple make a lighted keyboard? Because that's what I don't like about this one is there's no lights to the keys. If they make a full-size lighted keyboard, I would buy one with the Touch ID. I love the Touch ID, but I just use here. I just touch there when I need that. No, I don't look down. I don't look down. I just, my eyes go down. My eyes go down. Jeff says he signed up but doesn't remember an access code, but we'll check again. Yeah, they send you an access code for sure. So when I look down at my keyboard, I'm just looking down like this rather than turning my head to see this. I like it. It just seems more natural to me. Poor man's teleprompter. See, I have 10 gig E on my Mac Pro, but I don't have 10 gig E on the MacBook Pro. I have to get a Thunderbolt 4 to 10 gig E adapter. So Midland Pictures, but you're not using one of the new MacBook Pros, right? Because I can't get my Pegasus. Mine are Pegasus 2 R4s. R4 and the G-Tech, the same thing at the G-Tech. They don't connect so far. Something might change. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Lit keys on a full-size keypad. Absolutely. So we're going to give away another one of the VIP packages in the next 15 minutes. I have to leave after that. I have somewhere I have to be for today. So let's just go back real quick, finish up our register for free. So you register for free, click on there, register for free. They will send you and submit. They will send you a registration code. So let's go back to the beginning. Rates and registration, go back to there. Launch the event platform. So when you launch the event platform, you have to put in your email and continue, and then you will have to enter the access code that they give you in your email, right? That's what you have to do. I'm sure they sent you one. So he says, true, mine are connected to my 2013 Mac Pro. So I was kind of expecting that Thunderbolt 2 RAIDs would not connect to the Thunderbolt 4 of the new MacBook Pro. Doesn't surprise me. I was expecting that. But I still connected to my Mac Pro for the time being. And I have another MacBook Pro that I can connect there to pull stuff off of as I go forward. But I am looking for a more robust 8-drive RAID. I want speed. Did you guys see this MacBook Pro speed? 7,500 megabits per second? Incredible. Here's what you miss from the Creative Summit. This is the Juniper Hotel. In person.
Oh, I gotta show this. I appreciate it. So I'm always looking for ways to friends.
So look who it is.
I'll put a picture up. My first look.
Look who else it is. John Cleese. He was there in 2019, 2018. There's the lobby.
All right, guys, thanks for coming to my session. I really appreciate it.
Turn my MacBook Pro audio off.
Questions specifically? Part of these things is not just to talk at you, but like have conversations. So if you want to like bring up your laptop and you want to have questions, I basically want to make myself available to you guys while I'm here this weekend. Sound good? Awesome. All right. Thanks a lot.
I got 7 minutes before I have to tear everything down. So if you want to see
Our
the timeline,
friend
play with the
Patrick Southern
timeline,
now
feel free
works
to come
for
up here.
Frame.io.
Or if you want to go get some quick coffee, go to the bathroom before the next presentation, feel free to do that. Thanks again so much for coming.
That was a very timely tip.
Well, actually, you're having crap shoes, you know?
So there's a couple of clips. I've been filming the Creative Summit since 2016, behind the scenes kind of things. So with Final Cut Pro Radio, John Cleese has developed his unique walk. He most certainly has. Nothing better than sobering time with friends in one of our favorite events. Absolutely. Final Cut Pro Summit is my favorite event of the year, the virtual or otherwise, because it's all about Final Cut Pro. Now, the Final Cut Pro team, listen, when you do your presentation, I'm sure you're rehearsing it, maybe it's already finished. You please give us something new. Don't just rehash what we've already seen for the last month. That would not be as exciting as you did in 2016, 2017, and 2018, when you had new versions of Final Cut Pro or you previewed new features in Final Cut Pro. It's nice that John Cleese attended the summit, but he spent the whole time bitching about the keyframe engine, Final Cut Pro. Yeah. He, let me just see something here. What the heck did I just do? I didn't do that. There it is. Yeah, he didn't, obviously, John Cleese was not there for the summit, right? You know that for a fact. He was there for some play or something. He just happened to be staying at the same hotel, the Juniper Hotel. So one more. Let me see something here. Yeah. Crossing my fingers for a big motion update. We've been waiting on that for like over 10 years. Typos. It's about time they keep the iPod, the keyframing though, let's be honest. The Final Cut Pro keyframing, I've said it's like keyframing on an Etch-a-Sketch. It's very clunky. The motion keyframe editor is fantastic. The motion keyframe editor is fantastic. It's very, very robust. I really, really like that one. If they could have a little drop-down keyframe editor like Motion in Final Cut and the timeline, be fantastic. The other thing is, please get away from compound clipping in Final Cut Pro. I mean, at least make it open in the timeline where you're working, not jumping off the screen to another timeline that has no relationship to what you're doing in your main timeline. Open it directly where it is. Just drop down, have a drop down, open it right there in the main timeline. Same with multicam, open it right inside the main timeline so you can see the relationship of the clip you're working on with everything else. Don't keep jumping to this timeline into that timeline. How hard is it to import video from a GoPro 9 to Final Cut Pro? I don't know. I don't know if GoPro 9 footage is difficult. Could be. Have a look at editor keys for backlit keyboards. I'm sure they have Logic X specific keyboards. I don't need a specific keyboard. I don't use those covers because I map things myself. For example, I have JK&L and Logic. I use JK&L in Final Cut Pro, so I map the JK&L keys and Logic. I don't need an overlay, but I definitely want a nice slim keyboard that I could get that's backlit. It would be fantastic. So how hard is to import video from GoPro for Final Cut Pro? If you have to, you might have to transcode it before you bring it in. Sometimes I wonder just how much of Shake did not make it into motion features that perhaps catapult motion to another level. I don't know. I don't know. Agreed about compound clips. Agree. Time for Apple to send Adobe to the corner. I think they could both exist. Agreed about compound clips. Absolutely. GoPro 10 works fine too. So I don't think there's any problems. I take similar clips off of my, I have a Typhoon H hexacopter, 6-bladed drone thing. And they seem to be okay. I can pull them in and work with them in Final Cut. So what do you think? What's everyone think? Always wanted to try Apple Shake. All right, so I think I'm going to head out of here in a few minutes. And we will award another version of the VIP Global Pass in 1 minute, 2 minutes. Let's go to, here we go. Program 2021, speakers, lots of good speakers. So by the way, Vince Vaughn's coming. Sam Messman, Larry O'Connor. Lots of good people. Scott Simmons, he got blurred out in another, they blurred his face out. You're not blurred out here, Scott. We don't blur you out here. And of course, my good friend, Serena Catania, is going to be presenting All kinds of good presenters. Ian Anderson, Lee Herbert, Mark Spencer, all kinds of good presenters. Mike Matzdorf, Felipe Baez, Stephen Moyer, he's been on the radio show, Justine, Noah Cadner, Robin Moran, Charlie Austin, he's also been on the show. Final Cut Pro Radio. Speaking of Final Cut Pro Radio, we have a new episode just came out with Sam Messman and Jeffrey Orthwine. All right. Let me see here. What am I doing? So here we go. Graphics. Take this one out. And we'll put, now I'm not sure if you've won from this show, let me know. But I think we're going to, I'll have to get out of here. We're going to give the next version of the VIP pass to Scott Gillies for his comment. It's nice that John Cleese attended the summit, but he spent the whole time bitching about the keyframe engine in Final Cut. That's not true, Scott. You're a little devil there. He did not attend. He was just in the exact location. So, Scott, send me your contact information. If you've won, I don't know if you have or not in the past, let me know, and we'll have to give it away another time. But you've won a VIP pass as well. See how easy that was? No big deal. Final Cut Pro Radio HQ Backyard. Maybe, no, I'm sorry. Got it. Put the audio back on. 9:30 will come back live. They started at 11:15 Eastern. So I will come back on probably about 9:30 or 10 o'clock. Just subscribe over there at YouTube. And let me just pull that up. Facebook.com, Richard Taylor TV, YouTube.com, Richard Taylor TV. That's all you need. That's all you need. Let me see if I have, oh, there we go. Like and subscribe. There you go. I'm going to take off, everybody. I got something to do this afternoon, and I will be back Monday morning, if not before. If they release a new version of Final Cut this afternoon, I'll come back. All right, everyone. Until the next time we go live. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll be back Monday morning. Subscribe over there at YouTube to get the notification. We'll come in before the summit. Just touch base. I'll play a few clips from previous summits, chat a little bit, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.